Hey, it's Marina, travel experta. Today, we're going to be talking about San Juan Chamula outside of San Cristobal de las Casas in Mexico. Are you guys ready for an adventure? Let's begin. San Juan Chamula is a tiny little town with true Mayan traditions that is pretty much what this village is known for. It's about 20 minutes outside of San Cristobal de las Casas. You could get there by car, you could get there by colectivo, taxi. It's really, really easy to get to. So mainly people go there for two reasons. One is the church. Actually, that is the number one reason why anybody really knows of San Juan Chamula is because this village still kept its traditions in the church, but on a whole other level. You cannot take pictures once you enter the church, so that's why there's none that are anywhere. You cannot find any. However, what it is known for is that for two things mainly, for the animal sacrifice, mainly chickens, that you could literally see either them killing the chickens in front of you, breaking their necks, cutting, I mean, you name it, it's part of the ritual. It's like sacrificing. And the second odd one is to drink Coca-Cola to burp out your demons. So even though you would think that this is kind of like a cliche thing and oh, it's not really done, it's done. So the church is open from I think 7 in the morning till 9 p.m. to, you know, 365 days out of the year. It doesn't close at all. And maybe there are sermons, although I'm not really sure. We just came in at a random time on a random weekday, and it was quite a lot of people, especially indigenous that were there. I would say out of all the indigenous that were there praying, lighting candles, all of them had Coca-Cola or Pepsi or some gaseous version of that for while they are praying and burping. And 50%, easily 50%, if not more, had chickens, and they literally killed the chickens right there in front of us. It sounds interesting when you're reading about it, but when you're seeing it, I just was not into it. It was not my thing. Like, I'm sure they're gonna use all the parts of the chicken. I just don't understand that part of the ritual. Again, I'm not there to judge, but it was quite odd. The other really interesting thing that I noticed about the church, first of all, you have to pay 30 pesos to get in, which is like $1.50 to get in. There's somebody at the door taking the tickets. You, like I said earlier, you are not permitted to take any photos, any video, nothing at all. You do get fined a pretty hefty fine, but it's just disrespectful. The church itself is pretty much this one huge room. It's very interesting because it is full of every possible Catholic saint that you could think of. And there's just like wall of, I called it the Hall of Fame of saints. I mean, it was just nothing but saints all along. And there are thousands of candles lit everywhere, and people are just lighting their own candles and praying and whatnot. So the church still holds that Mayan tradition with the Catholic, um, I would say presence, but obviously influence is very strong. But what's interesting, that what I found to be the most interesting part, and my husband, who's Guatemalan, has seen quite a lot of Mayan rituals, says that this is very common, is that the majority of the people that were there were women with little kids. I would say out of all the people that were there praying, obviously not like the spectators like we were, 80% were women with kids. And the others, there was a couple of men that were praying as well, but the majority. And when we finally left, when we went outside, you would say the majority of the people around were women with kids. So the other most popular thing to do there is the open market. The open market, which is literally the plaza right in front of the cathedral, is mainly on Sundays. That's the big market day. But we went, like I said before, on a regular afternoon. It was not on a Sunday. And there was a lot of vendors already, mainly food selling. It wasn't really of the artisanal stuff, which is what you would find more on Sundays, the more of the local, the stuff, the fabrics, the jewelries, but you could find that pretty much anywhere, right? Especially if you go, yeah, you can, obviously more fruit and veggies. But if you're staying in San Cristobal de las Casas, I would recommend going to the Mercado Viejo. I have an entire podcast about that. That is a pretty incredible market. It is a must do. And again, if you go off market day, it's just as hustling and bustling as any other day. So basically, if you don't have a chance to go on a Sunday, don't worry, just go. Really, all you'll need is no more than like an hour and a half, 2 hours in total, including the transportation there and back. If you're really slow and want to kind of wander around a little bit more of the village, maybe 3 hours max. I do not recommend doing a private tour. You could do this all on your own entirely. There are many safe taxis that will go there. They're not expensive, maybe like $15-20 each way for multiple people, not per person. So I definitely recommend doing that. It is an incredible day trip, half day trip when you are staying in San Cristobal de las Casas. Personally, I believe it's a must do. And if you guys have been there, I'd love to hear your feedback. If you enjoy this podcast, please leave me a review, share it with your friends, and remember to make every day an adventure.